Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something that is more powerful than talent, luck, or intelligence. It is something that determines how we respond to challenges, how we pursue our goals, and ultimately how successful we become. That one thing is mindset. Many people believe that winners are simply born different. They think successful people are naturally smarter, more talented, or luckier. But when we look closely, we discover that what truly separates winners from everyone else is not their background or abilities. It is the way they think, the way they respond to failure, and the habits they practice every single day. A winning mindset is not something you are born with. It is something you build through discipline, learning, and consistent action. Taking full responsibility for your life means accepting that you are the primary creator of your actions, decisions, and results. It is the mindset of no excuses, no blaming, and no waiting for others to fix your situation. Instead, it is the belief that no matter what happens in your life, you always have the power to respond, adapt, and improve. Most people struggle in life not because they lack ability, but because they give away responsibility. They blame their circumstances, their family background, their environment, their luck, or other people. While external factors can influence your life, they do not define it. What truly shapes your future is how you respond to those factors. Taking responsibility starts with a simple but powerful shift in thinking. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What can I do to improve this situation?" This question changes everything. It moves your focus from helplessness to control, from complaining to problem solving, and from victim mindset to growth mindset. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for motivation or permission to improve your life. You understand that no one is coming to save you, and that realization becomes powerful. It pushes you to take action even when things are difficult. You start making decisions based on what you can control rather than worrying about what you cannot. One of the most important benefits of taking responsibility is personal power. When you believe that your actions matter, you become more confident and focused. You stop relying on external validation and start trusting your own ability to create change. This sense of control builds inner strength and emotional stability. On the other hand, when people avoid responsibility, they often feel stuck. They believe that their situation is controlled by outside forces, which leads to frustration, helplessness, and lack of progress. Blaming others may feel comfortable in the short term, but in the long term, it removes your power to improve your life. Taking responsibility also improves decision making. When you know that you are accountable for your results, you become more careful and intentional with your choices. You think about consequences before acting. You plan more effectively. You avoid unnecessary distractions. Over time, this leads to better outcomes in education, career, relationships, and personal development. Another important aspect of responsibility is learning from mistakes. Instead of hiding from failure or blaming external factors, you analyze what went wrong and how you can improve. This mindset turns every failure into a lesson. It allows you to grow faster because you are constantly learning from experience instead of repeating the same errors. It is also important to understand that taking responsibility does not mean everything is your fault. Life is unpredictable, and you cannot control every situation. However, you can always control your response. Responsibility is not about guilt. It is about empowerment. It is about choosing to focus on solutions instead of excuses. For example, if you fail an exam, blaming the teacher or the difficulty of the paper does not help you improve. But if you take responsibility, you might say, "I need to study more effectively next time," or "I need to manage my time better." This shift in thinking leads to real progress. Ultimately, Taking full responsibility for your life is the foundation of personal growth and success. It is the mindset that separates people who remain stuck from those who move forward. When you accept responsibility, you take back control of your life. You stop being a passenger and become the driver of your own journey. Responsibility is not a burden. It is freedom. It gives you the power to change your situation, improve your skills, and shape your future. The moment you stop blaming and start taking responsibility is the moment your life begins to transform. Every success starts with this simple decision: to own your life completely and move forward with purpose. Turning challenges into opportunities means changing the way you interpret difficulties in life. Instead of seeing problems as something that stops you, you begin to see them as situations that help you grow, learn, and become stronger. This mindset shift is one of the most powerful differences between people who succeed and people who give up. Every person in life faces challenges. No one is exempt from failure, rejection, stress, or setbacks. The difference is not in the problems themselves, but in how people respond to them. Some people see challenges as roadblocks and become discouraged. Others see the same challenges as lessons and stepping stones towards success. When you face a challenge, your first reaction might be frustration or disappointment. This is natural. However, if you stay in that emotional reaction, you lose the opportunity hidden inside the situation. Every challenge carries a lesson, and every difficulty has the potential to develop a new skill, strength, or insight. For example, failure is often seen as something negative, but in reality, failure is one of the most powerful learning tools. When something does not work, it shows you what needs to be improved. It highlights weaknesses, mistakes, and missing skills. Instead of avoiding failure, successful people study it. They ask questions like, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? What did I learn from this experience? This approach turns failure into progress. Rejection is another common challenge. Many people take rejection personally and lose confidence. However, rejection can also be a form of redirection. It may simply mean that a better opportunity is waiting elsewhere. Instead of stopping your journey, rejection can guide you toward a better path that you may not have considered before. Difficult situations also build resilience. When you go through challenges and continue moving forward, you develop mental strength. You learn how to stay calm under pressure, how to adapt to change, and how to handle uncertainty. These qualities are essential for long-term success in any area of life. Turning challenges into opportunities also requires a change in mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "How can this make me better?" This simple shift transforms your perspective. It moves your focus from problems to possibilities. Another important part of this mindset is creativity. Challenges often force you to think differently. When things do not go as planned, you are pushed to find new solutions. This develops problem-solving skills and helps you discover ideas you may never have considered in a comfortable situation. For example, many successful people and businesses were formed during difficult times. Challenges pushed them to innovate, adapt, and find better solutions. What seemed like a setback at first became the reason for their success later. This shows that difficulties are often disguised opportunities. It is also important to understand that challenges do not disappear when you adopt this mindset. Instead, your relationship with them changes. You no longer fear them or avoid them. You face them with confidence because you know they are part of your growth process. Over time, this mindset builds confidence and courage. You stop being afraid of failure because you understand that every setback contains value. You begin to trust yourself more because you have experienced growth through difficulties. This creates a strong foundation for long-term success. Turning challenges into opportunities is about perspective. It is about seeing beyond the surface of a problem and recognizing the potential hidden within it. Challenges are not barriers, they are teachers. They are not signs to stop, they are signals to grow. When you learn to embrace difficulties with the right mindset, every challenge becomes a step forward instead of a step back. Committing to lifelong learning means making a continuous effort to grow your knowledge, skills, and understanding throughout your entire life. It is the mindset that learning does not stop after school or college, but continues every single day through experiences, reading, practice, and curiosity. In a fast, changing world, lifelong learning is not just an advantage, it is a necessity. Many people believe that education ends once formal studies are completed. However, this is where real life actually begins. The world is constantly evolving. New technologies emerge, industries change, and skills that were valuable yesterday may become outdated tomorrow. Lifelong learning ensures that you remain adaptable, relevant, and capable of handling new challenges. At its core, lifelong learning is about curiosity. It is the desire to understand more, improve yourself, and never become satisfied with your current level of knowledge. A curious mind always asks questions like, how can I improve this? What can I learn from this situation? Is there a better way to do this? This curiosity keeps the mind active and open to growth. One of the most important benefits of lifelong learning is personal growth. When you continuously learn, you expand your thinking. You begin to see the world from different perspectives. You develop better problem-solving skills and become more creative in handling situations. Learning helps you grow not only intellectually, but also emotionally, as you become more aware and understanding of yourself and others. Lifelong learning also increases your value in life. The more skills and knowledge you gain, the more opportunities become available to you. Whether in a career, business, or personal life, people who keep learning are more adaptable and capable of handling responsibility. They are often more confident because they know they can handle new challenges. Another key aspect of lifelong learning is self-improvement. Every new thing you learn helps you become a better version of yourself. It might be learning how to communicate better, manage time effectively, understand financial basics, or develop emotional control. These improvements may seem small individually, but over time they create significant transformation in your life. Learning does not always have to come from formal education. In fact, much of lifelong learning comes from everyday experiences. Mistakes, failures, conversations, books, videos, and even challenges can teach valuable lessons. The key is to stay open and willing to learn from everything around you. Reading is one of the most powerful tools for lifelong learning. Books allow you to access the knowledge and experiences of others. They expose you to new ideas, strategies, and perspectives that you may not encounter in your daily life. Similarly, practicing new skills regularly helps you turn knowledge into ability. True learning happens when knowledge is applied, not just consumed. It is also important to understand that lifelong learning requires consistency. Learning a little every day is more powerful than trying to learn everything at once. Small daily efforts, such as reading, practicing, or reflecting, build long-term understanding and mastery. Over time, these small habits create significant personal and professional growth. Another important benefit of lifelong learning is adaptability. In a world that changes quickly, those who refuse to learn often struggle to keep up, but those who continuously learn are able to adjust, grow, and stay ahead. They are not afraid of change because they see it as an opportunity to learn something new. Committing to lifelong learning